So Trump's plan is twofold. Let's bring back manufacturing of these essential goods that we need to maintain our national security. And then two, let's generate new revenue sources via tariffs that will help offset tax cuts that will help the middle class. Combine that with a reduction in government spending, and you're left with the situation where all these unproductive federal workers who are being laid off will soon be able to get jobs in high productive manufacturing private sector work. And this idea isn't even that far-fetched. Here is Bernie Sanders in 2008 saying we need tariffs to combat trade with China, and essentially sounding like a 2024 MAGA supporter. Watch.
Further, what they have said is that we need to not worry about manufacturing in America, because what we should establish is a policy of unfettered free trade. We don't need tariffs. What we need is to allow corporate America the freedom to throw American workers out on the street, people who are making 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour, health care, pensions, throw them out on the street, because somehow, Madam President, we are going to create wealth in America and good-paying jobs in America as we shut down plants, we move to China, corporations there pay workers 20, 30 cents an hour, and we bring the product back into this country. And anyone who goes shopping in a mall knows how difficult it is today to find the product made in America.
So yeah, say what you will about Bernie Sanders and his socialist viewpoints, but there's a reason that Bernie Sanders got a lot of populist appeal, just as Donald Trump did. They both essentially want the same thing. They just have two different paths of going about it. But put that to the side. Here's why Donald Trump crashing the stock market is a genius move. This entire global economy is propped up on US deficit spending and an unhealthy reliance on third world slave labor manufacturing. So when you get rid of those two things and you say no more, that's obviously going to have quite the impact on the stock market, which is fine. You need to flush the champagne and cocaine and morphine and quaaludes out of our system. But more than that, what it's going to do is cause investors to flood into buying US treasuries. And I'll throw a screenshot up on the screen of what the treasury bonds have looked like over the past month, and they are falling. The reason treasury bond yields fall is there is heightened demand in bonds, in safety, in security. This takes money out of the economy, puts it into safe bonds, which lowers inflation. Lowering inflation means the Fed is also going to cut interest rates on top of the natural decline that is happening in the market. I'm so excited here because I love this. But when you look at all of these factors and you combine them, what you get is almost $10 trillion of United States debt is going to be due in 2025. That means the government will raise a new $10 trillion to cover this, but this time it'll be at a substantially lower interest rate. That will save the United States hundreds of billions of dollars per year in interest payments, which means if you lower the interest burden of our federal budget, combined with Elon Musk slashing $1 trillion of spending, plus new revenue getting generated from Donald Trump's gold cards, plus new revenue getting generated from tariff income. It balances out the Trump tax cuts that he's trying to make permanent, which means people will keep more of their income, and that will more than offset the slight increase in prices that might be felt from some of the imports getting more expensive. Like, you just have to think about it for a second for it to make sense.